Hello, this is Suzanne Connersink from Dunning-Kruger Hypnosis, and of course this new YouTube channel, Reclaim Your Practice and Your Life, something we all need to do more these days given the circumstances upon which most of us live. So I promised I would give you some very important ideas that we use in the world of neuro-linguistic programming in order to help our clients to safely navigate the world. And indeed, for the first one, cause is greater than effect, a mathematical problem, yes it is. It will help you to choose the clients, patients with whom you work. So we have these people who come to us who are totally at effect. Effect is lesser than cause. People at effect show up blaming the world for all their problems. They want other people to save them. They never take responsibility for anything that they do, because it's easier to blame other people, you know. These are people who are very hard to work with, because it's very hard to get someone to grow into a healthier person if they're unwilling to look at their thoughts, behaviors, limiting beliefs, and shift them because they find it easier to blame the rest of the world for their problems. Being at cause is greater than being at effect, because when people are at cause, they understand that they need to take responsibility for their lives, for the choices they made in the lives that created the results that they received. These are the people who are willing to do whatever it takes, including being kicked in the ass if that's necessary, lovingly done, of course, in order to make those changes that they need to make. As I said, I have a client right now that I've kicked in the ass so many times. She actually really, truly needs it and wants it, because in her world, she just needs to know what she needs to do. And when she's not doing it, she needs to know why it is that she's not doing it, as well as how I know she's not doing it so that she can make corrective action. An example of this was when she was not making the 20 minutes 2 times a day right before she went to bed and right when she woke up to listen to an MP3 recording to help her release stress. Her whole life was full of stress everywhere. Then I told her that she would not be able to have another appointment with me until she did this 2 times a day for a week. And I didn't care if it took her a week to do that, 10 weeks, or even the rest of her life. It was totally up to her. Guess what? The very next day, I got a text. I did the recording last night and I did it this morning, and thank you. And then I checked in with her. It's been a few days later to see how she's doing, and she told me that everything was going really well and she was listening to the MP3 every day as I gave her as her remedy. So there you go. Each of our clients need to be treated differently. But we first have to know if we want them as clients, right? So we want them to be at cause and to take responsibility and to know what they need in order to be able to grow and develop with our work. The second theory, idea that I want to share with you from neuro-linguistic programming is this idea of perception is projection. This means that if we don't like what we're seeing out in the world, it's because we don't like what we are seeing inside the world. So if you're an angry individual, or if you have a client who's really angry, they see the entire world around them as being angry, and then they wonder why. Everything's angry, hostile toward them. So we need to teach them how to clear up those issues of anger, and with timeline therapy, Tad James created that process. It's very easy to do. Quite frankly, from the time that it began, even if it's in a past life based on their own unconscious belief system, because we don't care about their conscious system, because their consciousness is what got them to come to us in the first place. It really doesn't know what it needs to know in most cases, in order to help them to clear it from perhaps a genealogical input that they received from a mother or grandmother or other type of person that is older than them, that they took on as their own as a way of protecting themselves. Or even as they are in the womb, the last 3 months that people develop in the womb, they are taking in the information from the environment outside the womb, such as if their parents are constantly arguing. And even as they come out of the womb, I had a client when I first began hypnotism that felt guilty for being the second kid, for taking all of the individual love and care from his older brother away, and therefore he made himself a much smaller person than he needed to be, given his intelligence and his desire to do better things in the world. It was a limiting belief that he created right there as he was coming out of his mom's womb. True story. So we need to understand that we can shift these perceptions to be much healthier for our people. In the next recording, I'm going to teach you what the NLP communication model is as taught by Ted James and Matt James, his son, because I believe it's really the best way for us to understand how it is that we have behaviors and thoughts that create distress in our lives. As always, I thank you for spending your time with me. Till next time. Bye-bye, all.